Hello, everyone. Welcome to the third episode of Mental Health and Makeup. And I'm your host, Jasmine Young. I am a psychiatric and mental health nurse practitioner. And what I do on this show is talk about mental health while I'm doing my makeup for the day. So today's session is going to be on narcissism or narcissistic personality disorder. And this is part two. Part one, you may want to search for because that was an introduction, and we're just going to continue because it's such a big, humongous topic. And of course, I will place what I am putting on my face in the comments section just in case you all are wondering what I'm wearing on my face, okay? So, narcissistic personality disorder. I got this topic from one of my Facebook friends, Winfred. What's up, Winfred? And he had a topic on his page saying that people are using this term narcissist. He's a narcissist. She's a narcissist. He's narcissistic. Lately, I'm guessing because we had a person, a figure that was highly recognizable in the public eye for a few years, and everyone always threw that word around dealing with him. And so I'm thinking that, at some point, people were like, "You're a narcissist too, just like him." But I'm not calling anyone out, okay? So I think if you all don't know exactly who that person is that I was talking about, then we just move on with life, okay? So there are some symptoms of narcissistic personality disorder, okay? When people are narcissistic, they're usually having issues along the same lines, okay? So we can clump them all together and say, that person may just be a narcissist, okay? One of those symptoms is being overly boastful, exaggerating one's own achievements. Y'all know some people out there that's just, I did this and I did that. I did this, I did that. Me. I. They're very boastful, exaggerating your achievements, pretending to be superior to others. I am superior to you. And we all know that no one is superior to each other, right? As human beings, we're all on the same level. No one's God except for God. So, if anyone thinks that they're superior to anyone else, if it's you, yes, you may have an issue with narcissism. I do want to say that I do not intend on diagnosing anyone with narcissistic personality disorder today. That is not what we are doing. No. It's not what I do. I just teach about mental health, okay, guys? All right, so lack of empathy for others. Excuse me. So, empathy. What is empathy? We talked about that in part one. So if you need further explanation about empathy, go to part one or Google it, okay? Google it. What is empathy? Empathy is putting yourself in someone else's shoes and having the capacity to feel someone else's emotions besides your own, okay? If you do not have empathy, it's a problem, okay? That's a problem. It's a problem to not have empathy. So ask yourself, am I an empathetic person? Can I feel how other people feel? Can I put myself in their shoes and really, feel those emotions? Because if you can't, you need therapy and you really need to work on that, okay? Because every human being, excuse me, should have empathy for another human being. And if you don't, then there is a pathological symptom in you that could create this narcissistic personality disorder, okay? All right, looking down on others as inferior. You're inferior to me. Why do people do that? Why do people look down on people? No one is inferior to anyone else. We are all different. We are all made beautifully. And once you learn about the human body, you'll see. Oh my goodness. Anybody out there studying the human body? The human body is magnificent. It's magnificently created. And one person is not more superior than the other, okay? Let's just get that into our heads. Can we please? Especially during these times. All right, monopolizing conversations. If you can't say amen, just say ouch, okay? Excuse me, because, and no, I don't have COVID. I'm sorry, it's just allergies. But if every conversation has to be about you in every context, is every conversation about you? No, everybody's conversation is not about you. Okay, if you cannot listen to other people tell their truth or tell their story without it all of a sudden becoming your truth and your story, or all about you time, all about this person time. No, that's not how life is. Life does not revolve around you and your life. Can we get a little peace? Can we share a little bit of our lives with you without it being all about you? Ask yourself, does every conversation I have with another individual end up being about me? Do I monopolize conversations? Do I take over? Do I take over conversations? No one else has a chance to talk. No one else has a chance to say anything. You're not really listening, because if you're a narcissist, you really don't care what other people have to say. You only care about yourself and what you have to say. And just think about it, all the narcissists out there. Is that fair? I mean, I don't think it's fair. I mean, what's fair? I just don't think it's fair. No, who thinks that's fair? I don't. All right, impatient, angry, unhappy, depressed, or has mood swings when criticized. Y'all know some people like that? They can't take constructive criticism. The whole world ends when you criticize them. You know, when people criticize you, that there are some things that people see that they want you to know about. Well, you know, if you keep hearing the same things or the same themes, then maybe you should listen. Maybe listen. You know, people keep telling you the same things. Maybe there's something wrong. Easily disappointed when expected importance is not given. Okay, so I'm expected to get a certain level of admiration, or people to think that I'm important. And so if people aren't showing me that I'm important, here I go. I'm impatient, I'm angry, I'm unhappy, or I'm depressed, or I have mood swings when criticized, and easily disappointed when expected importance is not given. Come on now. Doesn't that sound like a toddler kind of? You know? And shout out to all toddlers out there. Love our toddlers, but guess what? A grown person is not supposed to act like a toddler. Always craves for the best in everything. No, I can't wear that. It's not the best. No, I can't go get those shoes. They're not the best. No, I can't eat that food. It's not the best. I can't shop at that store. It's not the best. I can't wear that makeup. It's not the best. I can't go to that school. It's not the best. I need the best. I need the best, the best, the best, the best. Are you a narcissist? Okay. Has a very fragile self-esteem. Okay, your self-esteem can just be broken. I mean, I'm not the guru on self-esteem. You know, I've had my self-esteem issues, you know, growing up as a chocolate girl in the South. But man, you all know some narcissists. Usually they have some self-esteem issues. You know what I'm saying? Yes. And you say, well, how can a narcissist have self-esteem issues? That's what it is, guys. A narcissist, deep down on the inside, they're not good enough, and they have self-esteem issues. They're not good enough. They know it. They just don't want anyone else to know it. But you say, Jasmine, how in the world does someone become a narcissist? Are babies just born little narcissistic babies? Hey, little narcissistic boo-boo, how are you doing? No. Babies are not born narcissistic. It's a personality trait, okay? And as your child is exposed to you and the environment, meaning the parents and the environment, yes, along with their genetics from their parents, yes, their parents. So if you have a little narcissistic teenager or narcissistic sister or brother or family member, look at the parents. Okay, so causes. The causes are unknown, but they may include parenting style, either excessive pampering or criticism. Excessive pampering. Y'all know what that is. Pampering your child too much. Okay? Like little boys can't even fall. Little girls, can't fall either. Let these kids play in the dirt and let these kids fall. We don't want to set up narcissistic personality disorder with our children. Okay? Parents, it boils down to you. You are extremely important in the mental health of your children. Also, parents that criticize their children, stop doing that. Stop criticizing your children, okay? Children are given to us not to criticize, to help them learn what they're supposed to be in life, to teach them about life, and help them become producing citizens in our society, not to criticize them. If they're not good at something, it's because you haven't helped them become good at it. Okay? Especially if they have a natural talent for it. Okay? So if they're not good at something, whose problem is that? Genetic changes. Now, there are some research studies out that suggest that there are some genetic changes that happen in a person's DNA that could possibly cause a narcissistic personality disorder, and changes in the structure or functioning of the brain. So how do we prevent children and young adults from becoming narcissists? Okay, and it does start with early age. Parents, we have got to rear our children the right way. You all know how important it is. Do you all know how important it is as a parent to raise your child the right way? Just because you're in dysfunction doesn't mean that your children deserve dysfunction. Okay? And that's why I'm here, to help you all, because children don't come with an instruction guide. They don't pop out in a book under their arm. Hey, mom and dad, this is how you take care of me. No, I wish they did, but they don't. But parents, you have got to do better. You all have got to rear your children better. And if you don't know how to rear children, there are classes that will help you. Call parenting classes. Okay? Not everyone is a natural mother. Not everyone is a natural father. And if you're not, it's okay. But you cannot abuse your children, because child abuse, both physical and mental, and intimate partner abuse may be predisposing factors to creating a narcissistic personality. Is that what you all want? No, you don't want to create a narcissistic personality in your child. Avoid domestic violence. Okay, parents, avoid putting your child in a position to have to see you in a domestic violence situation. Now, hats off to all of the domestic violence survivors out there. I applaud you all getting out of the situation. And if you're in the situation right now, there is help for you. I want you to contact your local health department and let them know that you may need somewhere to stay. Okay, leave now. Don't wait. Pack up, go to a friend's house. Leave now. Don't wait. Okay? All right. Quit alcohol and smoking. Okay, because we all know we don't make the best decisions inebriated. Okay? So if you have a problem with alcohol or smoking anything or illicit drugs, just quit, please. Avoid drug abuse, okay? Because children will see the drug abuse in the household, and it will change their personalities. And it could also change your personality. It could change your DNA, the structure of your DNA. I'm going to give you all some statistics on narcissistic personality disorder, which is a mental disorder. with exaggerated feelings of self-importance and low self-esteem. You ever notice narcissists, they have the lowest self-esteem ever? You know, think about it. What are some reasons someone may have low self-esteem? All the things that we talked about, right? But although the exact cause is unknown, it's always associated with the individual's upbringing. Okay? And that is why being a parent is so important in today's times. Like, we've got to be the best parents that we can be. Because we don't want to end up raising children with personality disorders, do we? Right, because the complications, there could be complications to this personality disorder, okay? You say complications? Yes, the narcissists themselves, they can experience complications. Yes. Like, the narcissist personality affects social relationships at home, school, and or the office. Who wants to really be around a narcissist? You know, someone who is glib, you know, and, you know, they don't listen to anyone else. They're the best. They're the best. I need the best. Who wants to be around that? Because when you're around a narcissist, you know, you can pick out these traits, and narcissists really don't make you feel good when you're around them. When you're around them, they're only talking about themselves, so it makes you feel bad about yourself. Or just feel bad for them. If not bad about your own self, it makes you feel bad for them. Like, man, poor person. And you know that something is just wrong. Another complication is depression. Remember, a narcissist has self-esteem issues. Okay? So most of the time, they are depressed. Okay? And narcissists also will self-medicate. You know, they'll self-medicate because of the low self-esteem. And it always seems like, you know, they're talking about themselves, you know, because they have high self-esteem. It seems like, or it appears that, oh, this person has high self-esteem because they're always talking about themselves. But really, they have low self-esteem and they don't get enough attention. So all they can do is talk about themselves, because that's the only person that they're really thinking about continuously is themselves. And you see how being brought up in certain situations with certain type of parents, whether they be abusive or helicopter parents, you can see how a person would be consumed with the thought of me by parenting gone wrong. Another complication of narcissistic personality disorder for the narcissist are drug and alcohol abuse. Okay, because of a narcissist's low self-esteem, they usually won't have many friends. If they do have friends, their friends don't really want to be around them like that. They don't, because they're going to make them feel bad. Usually narcissists make people feel bad. You know, this person has low self-esteem. So guess what? People that have low self-esteem, people around them usually are like, bummer. You know, everybody ends up just feeling low. Y'all heard the common saying, misery loves company? Yes, a narcissist, they love to have an audience. They love that. Oh yeah. Turn the narcissist on, because they're in showtime now. Showtime. Now it's going to be all about me. I'm going to talk about me. This is going to be about me. How cool is this? It's me time. Okay? That's what a narcissist is thinking. So, drug and alcohol abuse. A narcissist, because they have low self-esteem and they're depressed most of the time, they will abuse drugs and alcohol. Okay? And you wouldn't know because they're so stuck on themselves. But narcissists, they could even be so depressed that they have suicidal thoughts. Okay? And that is one of the important reasons why we want people to know these characteristics. You know, and the main one is a lack of empathy for other people. So if you're one of those people that say, you know what? I don't really want to know how she feels. I don't really want to know how they feel. I don't really care how they feel. You know, ask yourself why. Why? Why? Why do you not care how other people feel? Think about it. And in the clinic, when we start talking about empathy or the lack thereof, and people start saying things like, I wonder if that could be me. I say, just think about it and let me know about it. Usually, they never come back. They never come back because they cannot fathom. They cannot fathom themselves being narcissistic. So this is a very serious personality disorder that we have got to let people know about. And that is the main reason I did this part 2, because we cannot continue to allow narcissistic people to gaslight us, because that's what they'll do. They'll gaslight us. Have you ever had anyone gaslight you? Oh, I have. And I'm going to tell you something, especially for the ladies out there. When these men come and they try to gaslight you and make you feel like you're the crazy one, don't let them do that. Don't let them get away with that. Oh, no, no, no. We slow them down and we give them the truth. With narcissists, you got to let them know the truth, okay, ladies? Especially if you're dealing with a narcissistic man. And men, if you're dealing with narcissistic women, y'all have got to let these people know the truth, okay? I know that you have these characteristics, and I really do believe that you need to get help because you lack empathy. And people that lack empathy, I've been learning on mental health and makeup with Jay Young, people that lack empathy could be narcissists. You don't want to throw that around, though, okay? So all the people on the scoop, shout out to the scoop, you don't want to throw that label around unless you know exactly the characteristics of a narcissist. I think another discussion was toxicity, toxic people. There are a lot of toxic type of people, okay? Lots of people are toxic. But the thing about it is, not every toxic person is a narcissist. Toxicity in relationships is just a subjective feeling. A feeling that a person is not good for you. A feeling that a person makes you feel worse coming out of talking to them or being around them than better. Okay? A toxic person is an individual that brings out the bad in you and that people really don't want to be around. I personally feel that if you think that a person is toxic in your life, talk to them about it. I do think people should talk to and communicate with toxic people and let them know, I think that you're a toxic person in my life. And I mean, yeah, who's going to really say that, right? You're a toxic person in my life. I would. I say, hey, you're pretty toxic, and I really don't want to be around that. Like, why are you so mean? Why are you such a toxic individual? If I get off the phone or I leave your presence and I feel horrible, that's not good. That's pathological, guys. Do you all understand what I'm saying? You're not supposed to leave a friend or family member's presence feeling worse than you felt before you arrived or before you saw them. You're actually supposed to feel better, not worse, when you see people. So, yeah, regarding toxicity, I don't want people to think just because someone says no to you that they're toxic. They're just setting boundaries in life. And people need to know about boundaries. It is okay for people to set boundaries. And narcissists out there, if you're narcissistic and life is just about you, just know that people will set boundaries with you. Okay? And people will say, no, this is not all about you. This is not you time. Okay? And it's not to be mean. And guys, don't be mean to the narcissist. Just let them know that something is wrong. Because a narcissist, the only treatment for narcissism is extreme, intensive therapy. Okay? And during the therapy, the narcissist will be able to see their behavior and how it affects other people. Because you got to believe, narcissists, that your behavior affects other people in adverse ways. So, treatment options. If you're saying, man, I think I'm a narcissist, you need to either see a psychologist or a psychiatrist, okay? A psychologist is a health professional who specializes in the scientific study of behavior and its related mental processes. No, I am not a psychologist. I am a psychiatric and mental health nurse practitioner. It's totally different. What I do is I see people I do initial assessments and follow-up evaluations. I treat all mental health disorders with medication. I can do some therapy in office, but I don't necessarily do therapy. Okay, guys? Some of the symptoms can be treated by a psychiatrist with medication, but most of the symptoms of narcissistic personality disorder cannot be treated with medication. Okay? Most of the time, it's going to be therapy. Okay? The treatment will be therapy. Okay? But psychiatrists do treat the symptoms of narcissistic personality disorder, the symptoms like depression and suicidal thoughts. Okay, if a person's depressed, of course, come on over. Come to a psychiatric and mental health nurse practitioner so we can treat the depression. And so we can treat these suicidal thoughts. Okay, and psychiatrist is someone who specializes in the branch of medicine concerned with the diagnosis and treatment of mental illness. Okay, and a psychiatric and mental health nurse practitioner like me is an advanced practice nurse that was a nurse for years before and decided to go back to school and get a master's degree in nursing with clinical hours. No, they're not as many clinical hours as the doctors do in medical school, but the previous experience as a nurse working in the field equips the nurse practitioner to be able to bring those experiences to the advanced practice education and clinicals. So nurse practitioners that have specialized in psychiatry are able to treat some of these symptoms, the symptoms that we've talked about before. Being angry, unhappy, depressed, and having mood swings. We can treat those things, okay? So I think I saw somewhere in a thread, somewhere online that said, no, there's no treatment for narcissism. There's no treatment for narcissistic personality disorder. There are treatments, okay? I don't want that myth to remain out there. There are treatments, okay? It's just going to be multiple treatments. But many people have not recognized the narcissistic traits. So if they don't think that something is wrong, they're not going to get any help. So you say, okay, how do we treat it then? How are you all going to treat it? All right, I already said psychotherapy is the first line of treatment for narcissistic personality disorder. Find you a good therapist, okay? And people say, well, how can I find a therapist? Well, the easiest way I feel to find a therapist is by word of mouth from other people who have had therapy in the past and that have wonderful therapists that they know. Another good way to find a therapist is by calling your insurance company. Because I'm going to tell you something. Sometimes therapists, you get a lovely therapist and then you find out, uh-oh, they don't take my insurance. And then you say, oh, now I have to pay $150 every time I see you, therapist. And you want to see me weekly. So now I have to pay $600 a month for therapy? No. One good thing you could do is check with your EAP program, with your jobs, with the HR departments, because it is very affordable if you go through your EAP department. They will usually have free therapy for at least 5 or 6, or I'm going to say 3 to 5 appointments. They'll have free therapy for the employees. I think that's wonderful. It introduces you to therapy, and of course afterwards, if you would like to continue, that's always a good idea. I encourage everyone that feels that they know someone with narcissistic personality disorder to please encourage that person just to read up on it and just look at the way you approach them. You know, it's sometimes all about the approach, people. Because if I was a narcissist, I don't think I want people coming up to me saying, you're a narcissist. You're a narcissist. That's not how you get help for people. You don't get help for people by accusing them, blaming them, and calling them names. You just want to point out, you know what? I heard about these symptoms on a makeup show I was watching. And just let them watch my video. Okay? You want to be compassionate with narcissists because this is something that they've never known before, okay? Or something that they don't realize. Now, it can be covert or overt. Some people are malignant narcissists, and they mean to do the things that they do. But most narcissists, it was the way that they were brought up. So we have to unprogram the way that they were brought up, okay, guys? Also, medication, antidepressants relieve depression and anxiety in people with personality disorders like citalopram, escitalopram, and paroxetine, as well as Prozac and a lot of other medications. Also, anti-anxiety drugs act on the neurotransmitters in the brain and decrease anxiety. All right. So, guys, if you're out there and you feel that this video has opened your eyes to yourself or someone that you're close to, then yes, they may have narcissistic personality disorder or they may be narcissists. But don't just go around calling people narcissists, okay? Just because they may have hurt your feelings or you feel that you're right in a situation because you may be the narcissist, okay? All right, well, this was another exciting episode of Mental Health and Makeup with Jasmine Young, your host. I would just like to thank everybody today for your time. Be safe out there and please be nice to all narcissists. Show them love. Bye.